At my bridal shower, my future sister-in-law gifted me a handbag with a card that said, "Welcome to the family." Everyone applauded. When I got home, I found a receipt inside, charged to my own credit card. I called her. She said, "You're marrying into wealth. It's not a big deal." When I told my fiancé, he said, "You need to stop causing drama." She was just being thoughtful. I'm not the kind of woman who looks for revenge. I'm not the screaming type, or the kind that flips tables. But when someone takes something from me and acts like it's a favor, that does something to me. It shifts something. It did this time. My name's Erica. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised. I work in digital marketing for a hospital system. I pay my bills. I keep my head down. At least, I used to. I met Adam at a 4th of July party 3 years ago. He worked in finance, came from old money, the kind of guy who owned multiple jackets 4 different seasons. I fell hard. He was polite, quiet, attentive. His family had money, but I never asked for anything. I just wanted love and respect. We got engaged in early spring. Simple proposal, just the two of us in his apartment. He gave me his grandmother's ring. It meant something to him, and that meant something to me. Adam's family? Different story. His mom was polite but cold. His dad barely looked me in the eye. His sister Morgan. God, where do I even start? Morgan was all fake compliments and smug looks. Always overdressed, always making comments like, "Oh, you work in marketing? That's cute, or you two can finally move out of your little apartment now." She'd laugh, say just kidding, and sip her wine. But I kept trying. I thought that's what you did. You marry someone, you marry the family. So when my friend Tara offered to throw me a bridal shower, I invited Morgan. I even asked her to help pick out the wine list, thinking maybe it'd give us some bonding time. The shower was beautiful. Small room, tasteful decorations, catered food, light jazz, my kind of vibe. Tara nailed it. My mom flew in. My best friends came. Adam's family showed up late, of course, but they came. We did the usual stuff. Laughed, played a few games, opened presents. Then Morgan stood up. Everyone quieted. She strutted over with this big white box and a smile so wide it made me nervous. She handed it to me and said, "Every girl in this family needs one. Open it." I opened it, and it was a Chloe handbag. Expensive, tan leather, soft as butter. I'd admired it once at the mall but never would have bought it for myself. Everyone clapped. She gave me this smug little nod, and I thought, for just a second, maybe she was trying. Maybe I was part of the family now. The card said, "Welcome to the family. You'll need to look the part. XO, Morgan." It felt a little pointed, but people laughed. I smiled and said thank you. I even hugged her. Later that night, after the guests left, I went through the gifts. I pulled the bag out again. That's when I noticed the receipt tucked inside the inner zipper pocket. $1,891.13. Nordstrom. Charged to MY Chase Visa. My name. My address. I sat there for a minute, stunned. Then I logged into my Chase account. There it was. Clear as day. Charge made 2 days before the shower. I couldn't breathe for a second. I felt sick. I grabbed my phone and called Morgan. She picked up on the second ring, all sweet like she didn't just rob me. I said, "Why did you buy that bag with my card?" She didn't miss a beat. "You're marrying into wealth. It's not a big deal." I just stared at the wall. I said, "You stole from me." She laughed. Laughed. "It's not stealing. It was a gift. You should be flattered. I wanted you to look like you belonged. You left your card in your wallet at brunch last week. It was just sitting there. You're welcome." I hung up. I couldn't even process it. I called Adam. Told him everything. Expected outrage. At the very least, that's wrong, I'll fix it. But instead? He sighed. You need to stop causing drama. Morgan was just trying to be nice. Don't ruin the vibe over something like this. I said, she stole my money. He said, she bought you a gift. You're marrying into our family. It's not like you can't afford it. That was it for me. Right then, I saw it. They didn't see me as one of them. They saw me as someone they could use. Someone who should be grateful for being let in. That bag? That wasn't a gift. It was a warning. And I made a decision. They wanted to play games? Fine. But I don't play to lose. So I didn't scream. I didn't confront her in public. I didn't cancel the wedding. Not right away. Instead, I started watching. And listening. And planning. First thing I did was call my bank. I reported the charge as unauthorized. They froze the card and opened a fraud investigation. They asked if I wanted to press charges. Not yet, I said. I had something else in mind. Adam didn't bring it up again. In fact, he acted like nothing happened. We went to a wedding tasting the next week. He smiled, held my hand, kissed my cheek like we were some storybook couple. Meanwhile, I couldn't stop thinking about how easy it was for him to excuse theft, how quickly he dismissed me. A week later, I stopped by his apartment after work. He wasn't home yet. I still had a key. While I waited, I noticed his laptop open on the coffee table. I wasn't planning to snoop. But then I saw an open email chain, him and Morgan. Subject line, wedding budget face with rolling eyes. I clicked. And I saw something that made my skin crawl. They were laughing at me. They called me budget bride and coupon queen. Morgan had written, did you see her face when she opened the bag? Like she thought she earned it. Face with tears of joy. Adam replied, well, she kind of did. She's marrying me, isn't she? I stood there shaking. Not crying. Not yet. Just still. Then I took a photo of the screen with my phone. I didn't take off the ring. Not yet. I wasn't done. I started looking deeper. I found out Morgan was in serious credit card debt, over $30,000. She'd maxed out her own cards and used mine to look generous. She'd also borrowed money from her parents and Adam more than once. That condo she bragged about? Leased in her dad's name. Adam's family was all smoke and mirrors. Old money, sure, but almost all of it tied up in trusts, appearances, and debt. So I got organized. I made a folder. Emails. Texts. Screenshots. The bank fraud case. Even a printout of that handbag charge. I wasn't just planning to walk away. I wanted them to feel it. I scheduled a lunch with Morgan 2 weeks before the wedding. I picked a place I knew she'd show up to just for the Instagram clout, this trendy cafe in Short North with $9 matcha and green velvet chairs. She came in wearing heels, full lashes, a designer bag that still had the tag tucked inside. I smiled at her like everything was fine. You look tired, she said, sitting down. You look expensive, I said. She smirked. Thanks. We ordered. Small talk. I asked about the rehearsal dinner. I asked if she'd help with some seating charts. She loved that. Ate it up. Then I handed her a sealed envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside was the credit card dispute. The investigation report. The fraud summary from the bank. Her full name on the charge. The photo of Adam's email, printed and highlighted. Her face changed instantly. All color gone. What the hell is this? That's you stealing from me. And your brother covering for it. She stood up. Are you threatening me? No. I'm just letting you know what's coming. I stood too. You've got 3 days to pay me back and apologize in writing. Or I go to the police. I also send this to your employer, your condo board, your parents, and every guest on the wedding list. You wouldn't. I leaned in. Try me. I walked out. 3 days later, a check for $1,891.13 arrived in my mailbox, along with a typed letter from Morgan that was so stiff it could have been written by a lawyer. It said, "I apologize if I caused any misunderstanding." She signed it with her full name. I made 5 copies. But that wasn't the end. That was just her part of the story. Adam? He still thought everything was fine. Still talking about honeymoon plans like we hadn't cracked wide open. The day before the wedding, I called him. "I know what you and Morgan said about me," I told him. "I saw the emails." Silence. I stayed quiet to protect myself. "But I'm not marrying into a family that thinks I'm beneath them." He said, "You're overreacting." I said, "No. I just finally see you clearly." Then I hung up. The next morning, instead of walking down the aisle, I sent out a mass text with a photo of the bag, the receipt, and the apology letter. I added, "Today's wedding is cancelled." Turns out, this bag was the most honest gift I ever got from this family. Best $1,891.13 I never spent. The fallout came fast. Some people were supportive. My mom, Tara, a few cousins, relieved I got out before it was too late. Others, mostly from Adam's side, called me dramatic, immature, classless. Morgan posted a cryptic Instagram story the same day with a selfie and the caption, "Some people can't handle real families, woman shrugging #blessed." That night, I shut off my phone. I didn't need to watch them spin it. I already knew their type, smile on the outside, venom underneath. But what I didn't expect was the email. It came 2 days later. From a woman named Brianna. Subject, "You don't know me, but I know Adam." I almost deleted it, but something made me open it. She wrote, "Hi Erica, I'm sorry for reaching out like this. I saw what happened with the wedding. A friend of mine sent me the group text. I recognized Adam. I dated him years ago. I was engaged to him too. We broke up right before the wedding. He told everyone I had a breakdown. That's not what happened. If you're open to talking, I think you should know what he's done to other women." I called her that night. What she told me chilled me. She and Adam were engaged 4 years ago. Same timeline, same vibe, charming, attentive, romantic. She thought he was the one. Then small things started going missing. Her laptop. Her watch. A $500 withdrawal she didn't remember making. He convinced her she was misplacing things. Said maybe she was stressed and forgetting. One day, she caught him logging into her bank account while she was in the shower. She confronted him. He flipped the script, said she was controlling and unstable. Gaslit her until she started doubting her own memory. She eventually left him but never went public because she felt ashamed. Then came me. It all fit. The way he brushed off Morgan's theft. The way he mocked me in emails. The way he acted like my money was his. Suddenly, I wondered, was the bag really Morgan's idea? I went back through my texts. 2 days before the charge, Morgan had texted me, "You still carrying that old tote bag? Face with tears of joy, you need an upgrade, sis." At the time, I laughed it off. Now I saw it for what it was, a setup. But here's the twist, that handbag wasn't the only thing charged to my card. I checked my statements again. There were other charges I hadn't noticed before. Boutique clothing stores. A luxury spa. Even a down payment on a Rolex, none of which I had authorized. Total, $6,200. I called Chase. They started digging. And guess what? Most of the charges came from a shared location, Adam's building. Same IP as the one his email came from. He didn't just excuse Morgan's theft. He was doing it too. That was the moment I stopped feeling like a victim. That was the moment I got mad. And I mean cold mad. I called a lawyer. I told her everything. Showed her the emails, the receipts, the screenshots. She said, "You have enough here for a civil suit. Maybe even criminal, depending on how far you want to take it." I said, "I want to take it all the way." Filing the lawsuit was the easy part. The hard part was waiting. My lawyer, Camille, was a shark in heels. She didn't waste time. Within a week, she filed a civil suit for fraud and identity theft against both Adam and Morgan. The paper trail was too clean. The handbag charge, the new charges on my account, the IP matches, even the emails and texts. It was all there. I served them both on the same day. Morgan at her yoga studio. Adam at his office downtown. I wish I could have seen their faces. But I didn't stop there. Remember Brianna, the ex-fiancé? She connected me with 2 more women who'd been through similar stories with Adam. One lost her savings account. Another had her name used to lease a car that went into default. That's when I realized. Adam wasn't just a spoiled rich boy with no spine. He was a pattern. A full-blown scammer with a suit and a nice jawline. So we added a second count to the case, pattern of financial coercion and fraud. Camille sent a formal letter to Adam's employer too, a mid-size wealth management firm. The letter outlined the case. She made sure to copy their compliance officer and HR department. A week later, Adam was put on leave. 2 weeks after that, he was quietly let go. Morgan's life started to crack too. Her job was in real estate. Reputation mattered. Once the lawsuit became public record, because I made damn sure it would, her broker pulled her listings. She posted a meltdown on Instagram about jealous people ruining her life, but her followers didn't buy it. They started asking questions. Then came the email from his mother. Short. Cold. To the point. "You could have come to us privately. Instead, you've humiliated our family. I hope it was worth it." I didn't reply. But I thought about that phrase. Our family. Like I was never meant to be a part of it. Like I had violated some code by standing up for myself. Meanwhile, Adam tried to reach out. First an email. Then a voicemail. Then a handwritten letter. He said things like, "Let's talk," and "You're blowing this out of proportion." He even wrote, "I still love you." I sent the letter to Camille and blocked his number. But it wasn't over. One afternoon, I got a call from a blocked number. I let it go to voicemail. It was Morgan. She sounded wrecked. "You win, okay? You win. I lost my job. My lease is being cancelled. My parents are cutting me off. Adam's a mess. You ruined everything. I hope you're happy." She hung up. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad either. I felt clean. Like I'd clawed my way out of something toxic. But one last twist was waiting. Camille called. "Got something you're going to want to see," she said. "Check your email." It was a scanned document. Part of a deposition Adam had submitted in a separate case. Apparently, a creditor had filed a lien against him for a delinquent private loan. The kicker? He'd used my name as a co-signer. Forged signature. Filed 6 months before our wedding date. This wasn't just petty theft anymore. This was felony-level fraud. Camille's voice was steady. "We're turning this over to the DA." And I nodded. "Good. Let's finish it." It moved fast after that. The DA opened an investigation. Adam was charged with 2 felonies, identity theft and forgery. Morgan was charged with accessory to fraud. Their parents tried to get involved, hired a PR firm, called in favors, but nothing stuck. The paperwork was clear, the digital trail even clearer. In court, Adam showed up in a gray suit that looked a size too big. No charm this time. No smile. Just a man watching his life crumble under the weight of his own lies. When he took the stand, he said he didn't realize what he was doing was illegal. That Erica always handled the bills. That it was a misunderstanding. The judge didn't buy it. He was sentenced to 2 years, plus restitution. Morgan got a deal, 6 months probation, community service, and a fine. But her reputation? Gone. No more flashy selfies. No more brunch posts. Just silence. When Adam was taken away, he didn't look at me. Not once. But I stared straight at him. I wanted him to feel it. That cold, sharp knowing that he messed with the wrong woman. And here's the part one haven't told anyone but you, Reddit, I made mistakes too. I ignored red flags. I let people talk over me. I let love excuse too much. I wanted to be accepted by people who never respected me. I traded my voice for a seat at their table. But that day in court, I pulled the chair out from under every single one of them. I sold the ring. Donated the handbag to a women's shelter. Used the settlement money to start my own marketing firm, no more working for people who act like I'm lucky to be there. I see everything more clearly now. I don't smile just to keep the peace. I don't shrink for anyone. And if anyone ever tries to gift me something with my own money again, I'll give them a gift right back. Wrapped in court dates and consequences. With love, Erica.